afternoon and welcome to the November 21st meeting of the City Plan Commission. My name is Margaret Livingston, Chair of the Commission. I call this meeting to order at 1:33. We will now have a statement to the public.
The City Plan Commission has sole and final approval authority over subdivision maps. Although the Commission has sole and final authority with respect to subdivision approval, this authority is statutorily limited to a ministerial examination of the application's conformance to all applicable code provisions. The staff report for an agenda item may include conditions, exceptions, or modifications. If the Commission does not wish to approve an exception or modification or require a condition, then the Commission's motion will state which have been approved. Otherwise, the staff report with all modifications, exceptions, and conditions is approved, and the applicant shall comply with all provisions of the staff report. All agenda items other than subdivision items will be conducted in the form of public hearings. The chairperson of the commission may allocate and limit the time of a person speaking before the commission. The normal process is as follows. First, the commission will hear a staff report followed by a statement from the applicant. Then members of the public may speak, followed by any final statement from the applicant. Finally, the matter will be closed to the discussion amongst the commission. The commission shall then make a recommendation that will be forwarded to City Council. The commission may allocate and limit the time of a person speaking before the commission.
Raul Garcia,
normal
planning
process
inspection.
The only change is commission will hear a staff report followed by a statement from the applicant. Then members of the public may speak, followed by any final statement from the applicant. Finally, the matter will be closed to the discussion amongst the commission. The commission shall then make a recommendation that will be forwarded to City Council. Allocate and limit the time of person speaking.
This time is reserved for members of the public who would like to address the City Plan Commission on any items that are not on the City Plan Commission agenda and that are within the jurisdiction of the City Plan Commission. No action shall be taken. There's a sign out front. You would have needed to sign up by 1:30. There's no one there. There's nothing on the consent agenda, so we're going to go ahead and time to start on their agenda. Item number 1, SUSU 19-00069. And there are within the jurisdiction of the City Plan Commission. No action shall be taken. There's a sign out front. You would have needed to sign up by 1:30. There's no one there. There's nothing on the consent agenda, so we're going to go ahead and time to start on their agenda.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. David Samaniego, Planning and Inspection. Item number 1 on the agenda is SUSU 19-69, Paseo de Este Unit 5, a major combination application. This development is north of Eastlake and east of Darrington in the ETJ. Access to the proposed subdivision is through Eastlake Boulevard, Paseo Alegre Avenue, and Paseo Del Mar Drive. Item number 1 on the agenda is here is a subdivision superimposed onto the aerial map. The applicant proposes to subdivide 40.304 acres of unplatted land into 214 residential lots with 1 stormwater pond. The subdivision is being reviewed under the current subdivision code. Paseo Alegre Avenue. Here's a preliminary plat. Del Mar Drive. And the final, here is a subdivision superimposed onto the aerial map. The Development Coordinating Committee recommended deletion of the item from the agenda to address El Paso County's comments. We'd like to note that the applicant has since satisfied their main concerns. And with that, planning staff recommends approval of the subdivision on a major combination basis, subject to the following conditions. Paseo de Este Unit 4 shall be recorded prior to the recording of Paseo del Este Unit 5 to satisfy the requirement of El Paso City Code 19.15/100 in regards to dead-end streets, and also continued coordination with El Paso County pursuant to El Paso City Code 19.11.010B, general provisions, and subsequent county approval. This is my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
I'd like to note that the 100 in regards to dead-end streets, and also continued
Hi, good
coordination with El
afternoon. My
Paso
name is
County
Karen Barraza. I'm with
pursuant
Tran
to
Associates, and we
City
agree
Code
with all staff.
19.11.010B,
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
general provisions.
We'll go ahead and close for a motion or further discussion.
Move to approve.
All in favor? Thank you. Item number 2, SUSU 19-00059.
And also continued
Hi, good
coordination
afternoon. My
with El
name is
Paso
Karen
County
Barraza. I'm with
pursuant
Tran Associates, and we agree with all staff.
19.11.010B, general provisions.
We'll go ahead and close for a motion or further discussion.
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission,
Item number
Emily
2,
Desmondez with Planning and Inspections. Item number 2 on the agenda is SUSU 19-59, Felhaver Property, a major combination.
Karen Barraza. I'm with Tran Associates, and we
Here's an aerial view of the proposed subdivision. It is located north of Americas and west of Zaragoza.
Further discussion.
Move to approve.
Here's the final plat superimposed on the aerial. Access to the proposed subdivision will be from Zaragoza. Item number 2 on the agenda is Susu 19 Here's the preliminary plat, property, a major combination. And here's the final plat. Here's an aerial view of the proposed cross-section. The applicant is requesting a deviation to the minor arterial street under section 19.21.050.b of the current subdivision code. The deviation is to allow for the landscape buffer and sidewalk to remain in its current configuration. And the applicant does meet their proportional share of the roadway. Here's the proposed cross-section. The applicant is requesting. There are some photos of Zaragoza Road. The stars are approximately where I was standing when I took the photos, facing north and facing south. And so, as you can see, all the way leading up to and leading away from the subdivision, the sidewalk has been developed already in that configuration. Here's the proposed cross-section. The applicant is requesting. And with that, DCC and staff recommend approval of Philhaber property on a major combination basis and approval of the deviation request. North and facing south, and that concludes our so, as you can see, all the way leading up to and
I have a
leading
question.
away from
The
subdivision,
median that's
the
shown
sidewalk
in the
has been
typical
developed already
arterial,
in that configuration.
minor arterial, that they want relief from.
And with that, DCC and
Is
staff
there anyone
recommend
else
approval
around
of
there who
Philhaber
has,
property
is there
on a
any
major
place around there that has the
combination
median?
and approval of the deviation request.
Thank you.
And that concludes our so, as you can
May we
see,
hear from the
all the way
applicant?
leading up to and
I have a
leading
question.
away from
The
subdivision,
median that's
the
shown
sidewalk
in the
has been
typical
developed already
arterial,
in that configuration.
minor
Good
arterial.
afternoon. My name is Jorge Angulo,
Want relief
representing FCF
from. Is there
Holdings
anyone else
LLC.
around there who has, is there any place around there?
The major subdivision is SUSU 190005.
Do you agree with all staff comments?
The
Yes.
median that's
Any
shown
questions for the applicant?
arterial.
We'll go ahead and close for further
My name is
discussion.
Jorge
or motion.
Angulo,
Move to approve.
representing FCF
All in
Holdings
favor?
LLC.
Thank you.
Uh,
Item number 3,
the, major subdivision
SUSC
is,
19-0005.
19-0005.
Do you agree with all staff comments?
Yes.
Any questions for the applicant?
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission. Karina Bresgala with Planning and Inspections.
Move to approve.
Item 3 on the agenda is El Paso International Airport
Item number
Tracks
3,
Unit 12, a re-subdivision combination application, and there was a revised staff report for this item.
Do you agree with all staff?
The subject property is located north of Montana and west of Airway. Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Commission. Here is the final plat superimposed over the aerial. The applicant is proposing to re-subdivide approximately 3.5 acres of land into 4 lots and 1 access easement. Access to the subdivision is from Continental Drive. And this application is being reviewed under Title 21 Smart Code and is required to comply with the approved El Paso International Airport Southern Industrial Park regulating plan. Here is the preliminary plat. There are 2 existing buildings which will remain, and the applicant will be dedicating an east-west connection required by the regulating plan as that access easement. Smart Code and that's provided in purple. Here's the final plat. And with that, staff recommends approval of El Paso International Airport Tracks Unit 12 on a re-subdivision combination basis will remain, and the presentation I'd be happy to take any questions. West connection required by the regulating plan as that access easement.
Is there, if this is a smart code, would it eventually have a detailed
Here's the
site
final
development
plat.
plan?
Not a, it's called a building scale plan, and that would be approved by an administrative committee, so the Consolidated Review Committee, and they have one, and it has been that presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions.
May we hear from the applicant?
Is there, if this is a smart code, would it eventually have a detailed site development plan?
Good afternoon, Chair and
Not
Commission.
a-
Michael McElroy
it's
with
called
El
a,
Paso
building
International
scale
Airport.
plan,
I
and
can
that would
answer
be
any questions you might
approved
have.
by an administrative committee, so the Consolidated Review Committee, and they have one, and it has been.
This item's under the public hearing section, although no one signed up to speak on this item. If someone does want to, now is your
Is there,
chance.
if this is a smart code, would it
Okay.
eventually have?
We'll go ahead and close for motion or further
Good afternoon,
discussion.
Chair and Commission.
Move to
Michael
approve.
McElroy with El Paso
All in
International
favor?
Airport. I can answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Item number 4,
And they have one, and
PZDS 19-00023. On this item, if someone does want to, now is your chance.
If this is a smart code, would it
Okay. We'll go ahead and close.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. Luis Zamora with Planning and Inspections. Item 4 on the agenda is a detailed site development plan located at 1081 Burgundy Drive, located south of I-10 and west of Joe Battle.
00023.
The subject property is approximately 7.39 acres and is zoned M1 SC. Chair and members of the commission, please the property is currently vacant. Rezoning ordinance number 5643 includes a condition requiring that a detailed site plan be reviewed and approved by the City Plan Commission. Main access for this proposed development will be through Burgundy Drive, 7.39 acres, and is zone M1. The proposed site plan shows a new 32,550 square feet freight terminal that includes about 9,500 square feet of office space, about 12,800 square feet of warehouse space, about 3,300 square feet of lounge area, about 3,100 square feet of maintenance shop area, and about 3,800 square feet for an inspection canopy area. That includes about 9,500 square feet of office space. This development requires a maximum of 43 parking spaces and 3 bicycle spaces. The applicant is proposing 57 parking spaces, which requires the provision of 3 parking trees per City Code 20.14.050E. The proposed site plan complies with all density and dimensional standards of 43 parking spaces. Proposed building elevation show a maximum height of 31 feet in 57 parking spaces. This is the site plan superimposed on aerial imagery per City Code 20.14. This is a picture of the subject property. The proposed site plan complies with all density. Here are images for the properties abutting the property. To the northwest, we have a pond. To the northeast, we have warehouses, manufacturing. To the southwest, we have a residential area, subject property. And to the southeast, we have another freight terminal. With this, planning department recommends approval of the detailed site development plan, as the proposed development is compatible with the G7 industrial and/or rail yards designation of Plan El Paso. To the southwest, we have a residential area. Any questions?
Any questions?
To the southeast.
Have you had any comments from the adjacent residential neighbors?
No. With this, planning department recommends approval of the detailed site development plan, as the proposed development is compatible with the G7
Can we hear from the applicant,
or
please?
rail yards designation of Plan El Paso. To the southwest, we have a residential area. Any questions?
Any questions?
Have you had any comments from the adjacent residential neighbors?
That's okay,
With this,
right?
planning department recommends
This is also under the public hearing section. No one signed up to speak on this, but if you wanted to, now would be, can we hear from the applicant, please?
rail yards
Go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
southwest, we have a residential area. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 5, PZRZ 19-00025. No one signed up to speak on this, but if you wanted to, now would be, can we hear from the Go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 5, PZRZ 19-00025. No one signed up to speak on this, but if you wanted to, now would be.
Okay. Item 5 on the agenda, well, Adriana Martinez for Planning and Inspections. Item 5 on the agenda is a rezoning request for the property that's located at 613 Rainer Street.
All in favor?
The property owner is requesting to rezone the property from apartment office with a condition to special development with a condition to allow for commercial retail. The area of the rezoning request is 0.16 acres in size. Item 5 on The detailed site development plan proposes to keep the 1433 square foot existing professional office to be used as retail. Required parking is 4, they're providing 7 to include ADA and the bike racks. Ordinance 11395 restricts multifamily, which it has no adverse effect on the proposed development. The detailed site development plan. Here are your elevations. 1433 square foot existing professional office to be used as retail. We're going to see the subject property pictures and the surrounding areas. The Development Coordinating Committee, we did receive 4 calls, we did receive, 2 emails and 4 letters in support and 1 letter in opposition to the rezoning request. The Development Coordinating Committee recommends approval of the rezoning request. The proposed development is consistent with the adjacent commercial development, and it meets the established character of its surrounding neighborhood. Furthermore, Furthermore, the proposed development meets the intent of G2 traditional neighborhood walkable use designation of Final Paso of the comprehensive plan. And this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
The development
Yes,
coordinator.
can you tell me again how many public comments you received for and against?
We received and it meets the established character. 2 emails, 4 letters in support, and 1 letter in opposition. So 6 in support and 1 in opposition.
What was the concern on the opposing letter? Yes.
You
can
have it on the
tell me
last
again
page
how
of your staff
many,
report. It
public comments you
doesn't give a
received for
specific.
and
It just
against?
says that they're completely refuse to change, but no specific reason as to why. And 1 letter in opposition.
Thank you.
Okay.
So 6 in
May we
support.
hear from the applicant, please?
What was the?
Good afternoon, members of the commission. My name is Ray Mancera,
Yes.
representing the owner, and we concur with staff comments. Thank you so much.
Great. Any questions of the applicant?
Refuse
No,
to change.
this is under public hearing section. No one signed up for this item, but if someone wants to speak on it, may we hear from the applicant? We'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
What was the?
Good afternoon, members of the commission. My name is
to
Ray
approve.
Mancera, representing the owner,
All in
and we
favor?
concur with
Aye.
staff comments.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great. Any questions? Item number 6, PZRZ 19-00030. No one signed up for this item, but if someone wants to speak on it, may we hear from the applicant? We'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
What was the?
Good afternoon, members of the commission. My name is Ray
approve.
Mancera, representing the owner,
All in
and we
favor?
concur with
Aye.
staff
Thank
comments.
you.
Thank you so much.
Great. Any questions? Item number 6, PZRZ 19-00030. No one signed up for this item, but if someone wants to speak on it, may we hear from the applicant? We'll go ahead and close for further discussion or
Good
motion.
afternoon, Commissioners. Andrew Salom with Planning Inspections.
Move to approve.
Item number 6 on the agenda is a rezoning application for
Item number
property
6,
located at
PZRZ
4800 Woodrow
19-00030.
Beam, Trans Mountain Drive. The subject property is 12.04 acres in size and is currently vacant. It's a vacant lot. It was formerly used by the El Paso Independent School District. The property located at 4800 Woodrow. The applicant is requesting a rezone from R4 residential to C3 commercial to allow for commercial development. The subject property is 12.04. Commercial uses is not a permitted use in the R4 zone district. It was formerly used by the El Paso. The conceptual plan does show 6 commercial buildings with required 264 parking spaces. Residential to C3 access to subject property is proposed off of both Woodrow Beam, Trans Mountain, and also Kenworthy. Not a permitted use in the R4 zone district. It was formerly used by the El Paso. The conceptual plan is subject property. 6 commercial vacant portion, required 264 parking spaces. This is a view to the north, currently zoned R4. It's the highway, Trans Mountain, and to the east is school district. And it's also zoned R4. To the south is also R4 and is vacant. And to the west is C1, is commercial uses. This is a view to the north. Currently, Planning Division did not receive any communication in support or opposition of the rezoning request. DCC and the planning. Both are recommending approval of the rezoning request from R4 residential to C3 commercial. The proposed district is consistent with other surrounding commercial districts in the immediate area. It does meet the established character of the surrounding neighborhood. And the planning. And also the proposed development does meet the intent of the G4 suburban use designation in Plan El Paso in the northeast. That concludes my presentation. Commercial districts in the immediate area.
Any questions for staff?
Are we approving the proposed site plan or
And also the proposed development.
just the
does meet
rezoning? It was
Just the rezoning.
So this is for
This is
information
a-
only?
This is only conceptual.
Thank you.
In the northeast.
May we hear from the applicant? Any
Good
questions?
afternoon, George Halou with SLI
Are we
Engineering.
approving
All
the
staff.
proposed
Any
site plan?
questions for the applicant?
Just the
I just want to
rezoning?
say, I grew up
It was
there in the
just the
Northeast,
rezone.
and
So this
when
is
they
for
said
information
that
only.
only
EPISD
conceptual.
used it, that thing was never used. I don't think anyone ever played tennis on those tennis courts, so The citizens of District 4 are excited about the development. Thank you all for moving forward with it. And then we also have a lot of seniors in the Northeast. I know that we do have a lot there, a lot over town. And I would just ask that you ask the developer to consider some additional handicap spaces if they can.
Of course.
All right, thank you. The citizens of District 4 are excited about the development.
This is under the public hearing section. No one did sign up for this item. But now would be your opportunity to speak if you wanted to. We're going to go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
To consider some
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.
Of course.
Now we're going to hear items number 7 and 9. 7 is PZRZ 19-00022, and 9 is PLCP 19-00002.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon again, Karina Bresgala with Planning
Now
and
we're going to hear
Inspections.
items number
So
7
items
and
7
9.
and 9 are
7 is
related applications for a rezoning and a comprehensive plan amendment to modify the future land use map.
PLCP 19-00002.
The requests will affect 21 properties totaling approximately 740 acres located south of Texas Spur 601 and east of Global Reach. So items 7 and 9 are related areas for a rezoning. Here is the current future land use map. The current designation for the property is 07 Urban Expansion. This designation applies to city-owned properties slated for smart growth by 2030. The properties were given this designation in 2012 upon the adoption of Plan El Paso, the city's comprehensive plan. Here is the proposed change to the future land use map. The applicant is requesting that the designation be changed to G7 Industrial, as these properties are intended to support the airport area. The proximity to the airport means that the site is subject to Federal Aviation Administration regulations which restrict the location of residential uses. So that would make the 07 designation inappropriate for potential development. Plan El Paso policies for G7 do allow for the conversion of land into mixed-use complete neighborhoods should the circumstances change. And the anticipated uses for the site include straight warehousing, heavy commercial, which would be very similar to what is on the surrounding area, also sharing that G7 designation. For your reference, here are the definitions for the 07 urban expansion and the G7 industrial sectors. The circumstances change. And the applicant is also requesting a rezoning from SCZ Smart Code Zone to C4 Commercial. The existing golf course is permitted in a C4 district, as would be potential warehouse and commercial uses. The C4 zoning district also ensures that any future development would remain compatible with the G7 designation, while allowing for the applicant is also requesting redevelopment provisions. From SCZ Smart Code Zone. Here's a survey of the site. Here is the subject property in a C4 district and photos of the surrounding area. Land to the east is outside city limits within our extraterritorial jurisdiction and is currently vacant. Land to the north, west, and south is all zoned M1 and occupied by airport-related uses. And then just north of the spur is Fort Bliss. And photos of the surrounding area. Notice was mailed to nearby property owners on November 5th. There's been no communication in support of or in opposition to the request, and staff does recommend approval of both the rezoning and comprehensive plan amendment, as the requests are consistent with the established character of the surrounding area and the policies of Plan El Paso. Thank you. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions. There's been no communication in support of.
Do we have any consultation with the leadership at Fort Bliss?
No. Not about a rezoning. It's are consistent with the.
Well, just for the, I guess, potential future developments that would take place there, and any concerns that they might have?
I didn't look into whether, but there is the option that possibly like DOD regulations could also affect the residential uses on the site, but there was no consultation with Fort Bliss about that. So
well, just for the, I guess, potential future developments that would take place.
Can you tell us about the preserve area?
The preserve area, so that is just over the Butterfield Trail Golf Course. That is going to remain O1 in the future land use designation. All the golf courses in the city are O1 preserve on the future land use map. Not
Can you
sure
tell us about the
why,
preserve?
to be
area?
honest, but it's applied to all of them, and there's no reason to change it at this time. That is
So
just
it's
over
the golf course
Butterfield
and it will
Trail
remain the
golf
golf
course. That is
course.
going to remain
Thank you.
O1 in the future land
May we
use
hear from the
designation.
applicant?
All the golf courses in the city are O1 preserve.
Hello, Chair and Commission, Michael McElroy again with the
Can you
El Paso
tell us
International
about the
Airport.
preserve
We agree with all
Honest,
staff
but
comments, and
that's-
I can answer any questions you might have.
There's no reason to change it at this time.
So
it's the
has
golf
Paso
course and it will
International
remain the golf
Airport
course.
consulted with the leadership at Fort Bliss about this project or potential developments on it?
We are always in communication with Fort Bliss, particularly with the opening of William Beaumont Army Medical Hospital. So we do have a plan for this greater area, compatible uses with them.
Paso International, do we have something that I can see where that relationship is taking place? The conversation, the back and forth?
We are
Just
always in
because
communication.
What is your specific concern?
Just
curious.
They're so close. Fort Bliss is a part of this. So we do have a plan for this greater area, compatible uses with them.
The type of developments that happen there in the buildings or anything like that. I mean, it's going to be between William Beaumont Army Medical Center, the hospital, Fort Bliss, East Bliss. Because
What is your
I know
specific
that,
concern?
you know, it doesn't belong to Fort Beaumont Army Medical Center. Some potential concern in the future. So that's my concern. Type of developments that they were not involved in, discussions so close. And we need to keep that open communication and relationship with Fort Bliss when, as the city develops.
Sure, but I don't think they have the authority to stop you
Oh, I
from
don't think
what
so
you
either.
need to do.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
don't think they do either.
You always want to be a good neighbor, but
That they were not involved in,
Okay.
discussions so close.
this is under the public hearing section.
That open communication.
Nobody signed up to speak on it. If anyone does want to, now's your chance. Nope, great. Sure, but I don't think they have the authority on both items 7 and 9 need to do.
Yeah, I don't think they do either.
You always want to be a good neighbor, but, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 8, PZRZ 19-00026. Speak on it if anyone does want to, now's your chance. Nope, great. Sure, but I don't think they have the authority on both items 7 and 9 need to do.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. Luis Zamora again with Planning and Inspections.
All in favor?
Item 8 on the agenda
Thank you.
is a rezoning for a property
Item number
located
8,
at 411 Zaragoza Road.
PZRZ 19-00026.
This property is located south of Norloop.
Anyone does want to, now's your chance.
The subject property is approximately 6.77 acres and it's zoned C1 SP. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. The property contains an 87,230 square feet building. Access will be through Zaragoza Road and Brave Court. This property is located south of Norloop. The proposed site plan shows the current building to be repurposed to house the use of other wholesale establishments, which is not allowed in the C1 district. Therefore, the rezoning request for the C3 district, the proposed site plan also shows 495 parking spaces to include 10 accessible parking spaces. The proposed site plan shows the current building site plan superimposed on the aerial imagery, other wholesale establishments, which is not an image of the subject property. Therefore, the rezoning request for the images of the rezoning sign. The proposed site plan also shows 495 parking spaces. Now the property is abutting the property to the northwest. We have a mobile home park, which is zone C4. This is the site to the northeast. We have a vacant lot, which is zone C2. To the southwest, we have a vacant lot, which is being recently rezoned to C1, and it's proposed to be offices and retail. The property is abutting and to the southeast, we have a strip mall and some storage across the northeast, directly to the south. Commercial is zone C1 and the storage is zone M1. Notice was mailed to the property owners within 200 feet on November 6, 2019. The planning division received the calls of inquiries, no calls in support and in opposition to the rezoning request. And with this, the planning department recommends approval of the rezoning request as the proposed use is compatible with the G3 post-war designation was mailed to the property owners within 200 feet on my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Planning division received the calls of
What was the building on there before?
Kmart. To the rezoning request. And with this, the planning department recommends approval of the rezoning request as the proposed use is
Good
compatible
afternoon, George Halou with SLI Engineering.
with
Our staff.
We have two people signed up to speak in favor of this item. Sylvia
What was
Carrion.
the building on there before?
Kmart. Right. Hello.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Sylvia Carrion with the Mission Valley Civic Association. I received a letter, and this about last year, and September 11th of this year, I received a letter from Mr. Hollow in reference to this C3 change to become a store. I told him it was the old Kmart, and I wanted to know what kind of store it was, because we wanted to see. I received a letter if it was going to be the old Kmart last year. He said no, but it would be a store. He wouldn't elaborate into what kind of store. And so, in reference to this, when you look at the C3 items on the zone book, it's open to so many things, so we wanted to see, including freights and mobile homes, and all kinds of stuff. And so I wanted to be sure that, and so it is going to be homes, it is going to be a store. Something about a wholesale zone book, something like that, is what I was told about. I wanted to know how soon are we going to get the store. Mobile homes,
Georges,
all
would
kinds
you
of
like
stuff.
to answer that?
And so I wanted to be sure that, and so it is going to be homes,
Right.
it is going to be a store. Something about a wholesale zone book, something like that, is what I was told about. I wanted to know how soon are we going to get the store. Mobile homes,
Georges,
all kinds. And I had asked Mr. Zamora, I wanted to be sure that, is it going to be something like Sam's or Target? Is it gonna be a store? Something about no membership required, something like that. No membership required. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit of everything. We're going to get the store, a little bit of everything. Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing this thing, and hopefully we'll get this thing going as quickly as possible and be back from Lebanon fast so we can get this.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No membership required.
Fabiola.
No membership required. Okay, and it's going to be a little bit of everything.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chair, CPC Council.
Well, we look forward to seeing this
My
thing.
name is Fabiola
Hopefully
Campos,
we'll
and
get
I'm
this
the
thing
new
going as quickly as
Civic
possible.
Association in
Be
the
back
area
from
of Mission
Lebanon
Valley,
fast.
which is
Right.
Corridor 20
Thank you.
Civic Association.
Thank you.
I'm just here to
Public
confirm
Fabiola.
that Mr. Halulu had complied with letting us know ahead of time, 2 months, I think, before going back. Like I have the same concerns
My name is
as Ms.
Fabiola
Carrion,
Campos,
and I have told right here regarding to make sure that we don't have any housing or anything that will be crowded more than what Zaragoza Road is right now. And Mr. Halulu has been very nice and confirming that it's gonna be a grocery warehouse. So I'm just here in support and welcome to the neighborhood. I have told right here regarding to make sure that
he
we don't
tells
have
you
any
it's something, that's
housing
exactly
or
what it is.
anything that will be crowded more than what Zaragoza Road is right now.
This is under,
And
oh, we
Mr.
already
Halulu
did
has
public
been very nice
speaking,
and
so we're done?
May I ask a
confirming that
question
it's gonna
of
be
the
a
applicant?
grocery warehouse. So
Are
I'm
you
just
going
here
to
in support
maintain
and
that
welcome to the
luxurious
neighborhood. So right
landscape?
here, regarding
He
to make sure that
he
we
tells
don't
you
have
it's
any
something, that's
shave a little bit
exactly
off.
what it is. Just trim it.
It's gonna look really nice. It's gonna be an improvement to
This is
the
under, oh, yeah, we
community.
already
And I
did
wanna
public.
thank both of you for coming.
So
We
we're
never
done?
happened to
May,
me.
may I ask
confirming
a
that
question
it's gonna be
of
Very
a
good.
Well, you couldn't have two better women
Are you
to
going
be
to
on your
maintain
side,
that
by the way.
luxurious landscape?
Great. Okay, we're gonna close for further discussion or motion.
It's gonna look really nice. It's gonna be.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 10, discussion and action of City Plan Commission minutes for the November 7th, 2019 meeting. On your side, by the way.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 11, information on holiday schedule relating to planning application submittals. All in favor?
Yes, ma'am. So this item is an item that Philip
Thank you.
wanted us to,
Item number 10,
as
discussion
information
and action of City
to
Plan
share with you.
Commission minutes for the November 7th, 2019.
So in regards to the upcoming holiday schedule for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and
Item number
considering
11,
the
information
recently
on
adopted
holiday
state
schedules
mandates that kind
relating to
of
planning
place us in a bit of a difficult
application
position when it comes to
Yes,
ma'am.
approving This item subdivision is plans, an item that Philip also
Item
approving
number
any
10,
waivers or
information
extensions,
to share
any
with you. Minutes for the November
30-day
7th, 2019.
waivers from the applicant who is not having holiday schedule for. So that has produced a little bit of issues for us in terms of processing those applications, considering we're gonna be off for 2 weeks, the city's gonna be closed for 2 weeks, and we have holiday, Thanksgiving coming up next week. So to address that, we are gonna implement some deadlines, some middle deadlines for related to subdivisions, subdivision applications. We have reached out to the development community, so they are aware. The main one really is the one that affects the major subdivisions, which are the ones that come before the commission. That deadline is tomorrow. Again, and that is just to provide staff enough time to process these applications correctly and completely, and also comply with the state requirements. So really, that's all this is, just to kind of give the commission a heads up. This is what will be that affects the major
Thank you.
subdivisions, which are the ones that come before the commission. That deadline is
moved.
tomorrow.
All in
Again,
favor?
and that is
Aye.
just to provide
Thank
staff
you.
enough time to
Happy
process these
Thanksgiving,
applications
everybody.
correctly.
Likewise.
Completely, and also comply with the state